A man has been found guilty of murdering an elderly neighbour in his village in Cornwall 12 years ago. Patrick Curran strangled 74-year-old widow Joan Roddam at her home in Delabole in November 2003 when aged 27. Truro Crown Court heard Curran, 38, had a sexual interest in much older women and Ms Roddam may have been killed after she rebuffed sexual advances. He had been arrested in connection with the death at the time but was not charged until 2014 after a case review. Unusual sexual interest. Curran, of West Down Road, wrapped the body in a blanket and tried to hide it under a wheelbarrow in a field, the court heard. He was described in a court as a loner who had an unusual sexual interest in older women. After his initial arrest, police found he visited pornographic websites on his computer featuring women in their 70s and older. Several days before the murder, he had also visited a doctor complaining of a very high sexual libido, the court heard. Officers also discovered he had burned clothes, as well as a computer hard disk drive, in a fire in his parents' garden. However, at the time they did not believe they had enough forensic evidence to place him at the scene. 10 years later, police began a cold case review and officers were eventually able to match fibers found in Ms Roddam's house to his clothes. DNA found on the blanket Curran used to wrap around Ms Roddam's body linked him to the scene, with forensics experts saying the chances of it not being Curran's were 1,000,000,000 to 1, the trial heard. In a statement, Ms Roddam's family said they were pleased at the verdict after she was murdered by somebody that she knew and trusted. She did not deserve to die in these circumstances, they added. Curran, who was tried in his absence, is due to be sentenced later in the month.